Parents who are watching this right now are thinking about, okay, the logistics of having a student at Duke. First and foremost, they got to sleep somewhere. All freshmen at Duke live on East Campus. How is that from a parent's perspective of the student? Good thing?
I think it's it's the best thing could happen to my daughter as a freshman, because when you are coming, you are acquainted with the personality, age, everything in one place. So you're moving around, hanging around with the students, like you are exploring, they're exploring too. That's cross pollination, change of ideas. I think Duke did a wonderful job segregating them to one campus and living them together rather than spreading them around, and they wouldn't have the access and dialogues, if you will, among each other.
Oh, I think it's great. I have to say, when my son moved in, or when he was moved in, because it was just this magical thing. You get your marching orders, and you're given a window, and you're given a little thing to put in your dashboard. And of course, the car is piled up, and things are falling out the windows. Who knew a boy had that much stuff? I don't know how you moved a girl in. But it's amazing. You drive onto East Campus, and you park in front of your dorm, and all of a sudden, I'm from New York. I thought they were robbing us. They start taking the things out of your car, and these incredibly strong young men carry it up to your room, and it was 100 degrees that day. Right. I barely broke a sweat.
Right.
Within minutes.
Within minutes.
Yes.
And
because you only had a few minutes before
you
it
get
was
your car out of there and
move on, lady.
Move on, lady. And it was amazing.
My wife rolled up the window. First thing she heard, what is the number? Room number. And before I got out, the trunk was open. Things are gone before I got out of there. And then they said, okay, we have to find out the dorm room. And here it is. Everything is there.
Oh, and they practically carry you up the stairs. I mean, it's really wonderful.
Yes.
Then when you're living in the dormitory, there is this magical person called your resident advisor. Tell me a little bit about your students' interaction with the resident advisor, or were you aware that there even was one?
Oh, no, I knew very much. Even I had a conversation. She came and gave her number and email address, any concern that I may have that I need to contact for my daughter. I heard it from my daughter is she will periodically come and check, said how things going, how she's feeling, is she feeling homesick, those kind of questions, any help she needs, and finding places, because they're all new, right, and where is the how she can better use the food points, all those advices, and they were available 24 hours.
So she was a great resource for your daughter.
Yes.
John's RA was available. In fact, he was in the room right next door to John, and accessible if John had questions. Another thing about picking up on what you were saying about East Campus, I thought it was a wonderful way for that year to really interact with each other from the get-go. And everybody there was in the same nervous position as everyone else. And in fact, when you could see people coming on campus who you could just tell by the look in their face, they were upperclassmen.
Right.
I mean, they didn't have this really stressed out look on their face. And so they could all sense that energy, and I suspect it made it much easier for them to put their hands out and say, hi, my name is, and then they would all eat in the marketplace together. And it has to make it a much easier transition to get into the Duke experience. Likewise, many of the parent orientation was done on East Campus, and we were made available. It was made known to us what the resources were going to be available to our students. So whether they accessed them or not wasn't
you knew about
as important
right.
as it was for me to know what there was, so that if in fact there was a problem, I could say, well, you have a professor who's living in your dorm,
Mm-hmm.
who's going to provide social opportunities for your floor and each floor during the year, has told us that he is a resource that you can go in and talk to one-on-one. You have an RA, you have the, you know, and so we knew what the resources were, should we in fact need to support our student from a distance. And
Yeah.
I thought that was incredibly helpful.
Yeah,
I don't know
some-
whether John used them, but I knew they were available.
Well, and the fact that you don't know says a lot right there. That
Right.
he was either comfortable and things were fine, or more likely, there was something and he needed to reach out, but he knew who to
He
reach
figured
out
out.
to.